Hi, my name is Bekah. Welcome to my video series, Everyday English, Every Day. Here we have authentic conversations with real people. You need to be consistent with your learning, so find at least 10 minutes a day to practice. Okay, so today we're talking about travel writing. We're going to listen to a conversation I had with my friend Rachel. We're going to talk about writing for a travel guide. And for a little more, we're going to talk about the difference between trip and travel. Okay, so one of my girlfriends writes for Father's Travel Guide about Costa Rica. What we're going to do is just listen to her talk about what she does. Before we listen, we're going to practice some phrases, and I want you to pick out these phrases from our conversation. Let's practice the phrases. Repeat them after me. Freelance writer. Post some of my articles. New edition. Turtle nesting. All right, let's listen to our conversation. You're writing.
Motor travel guide. Mm-hmm. So I'm a freelance writer in general. But I started that travel blog and I posted some of my articles, and then Kathleen reached out and she's like, I had contacted Foder's Travel Guide, and it's a book. You've seen it, right?
Yeah, totally. It's the one that comes out like every year. They do a new edition, right?
Exactly. And she's like, I think you would be great for this. They're looking for someone in our area. Mm-hmm. So then I wrote the woman and I showed her my clips, and she's like, yes, yeah, we want to hire you to just do Guanacaste and Manuel Antonio. So my first year, I just did those two. Mm-hmm. And you have to go to a third of the places in the book every year. So I've done it. Tough. This is my third year. And so, like, I have to now, well, this year I can't. But that's why I was asking for help, because I've never been to that national park. Mm-hmm. And it says in my book, it says that this is the only protected place for olive ridley turtle nesting. And then I was like, that's not Espional, right?
Okay, so she's a freelance writer. We'll talk about that in a minute. But she talked about posting some of her articles. When you post something, you put it out on social media. So she posted some articles. She started a travel blog. And a friend of ours who contacted Father's, which is a famous travel guide, okay, a friend of hers actually, told her, oh, I contacted Father's and I think you would be great working with them. So what her job is she has to go around to all of the places in the travel guide to update their services. Every year, the travel guide puts out a new edition. So they update their book every year. They have a 2018, 2019, 2020, right? Every year they have an updated book. So every year her job is to travel to a third of the places in the book. This is her third year working there. So if we were living in a normal world and not a coronavirus world, she would be traveling to a third of the places. But now she's looking for some help with her research because no places are open in this moment. Okay, so a freelance writer is someone who writes on their own. They're not employed by a company or organization. It's kind of like contract work. A freelance writer produces whatever text is needed by the clients, right? They usually work at home or they rent their own office space. Now, freelance writers can write about a lot of different things, articles or feature writing, copy or content writing, right? She's doing content writing for a travel book, blogging, social media content creation, and also editing, reviewing works. So there's different types of freelance writers. She also talked about turtle nesting. This is Astianal, a place in Costa Rica that has a lot of turtles that come up on the beach to lay their eggs every year. And then the eggs hatch, they open, and the baby turtles go back out to the ocean. Okay, we're going to talk one more time with my friend. We're going to listen to the conversation. Let's review the vocabulary so you can pick out these phrases. Not well paid. A lot of perks. Didn't get anything comped. Our big trip. It was a wash. All right, listen to our conversation. How you go when you walk, like when you go to a place, like you get to, they give it, do you stay there for free? Okay, so that was like super confusing and took a long time for me to get out of my mouth, right? It was not very clear. I just kept on kind of tripping over my words we say, right? So that's normal for a native speaker too. I wanted to show you that, you know, sometimes people can't think of the right things to say when they're speaking their native language. So don't worry if that happens. Does the thing play for, you know what I mean? Like, how does that work? What happens when you travel for foreigners?
It's not, travel writing is not well paid.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't pay well, but it does have a lot of perks.
Right. Okay,
so
good.
If you love to travel, it's a great job. Now, last year, like my family and I did a huge trip down to the Osa Peninsula.
Uh-huh.
But by bringing my family, I didn't get anything comped, right? I got myself comped, but then I had to pay for 5 people.
Right.
And as a family of 6, we have to have 2 hotel rooms in most places, right?
Right.
So basically last year it paid for our big 2-week trip. Like,
mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? The money I made,
right,
it was a wash.
Uh-huh.
By the time this year, I had planned
you got a 2-week trip.
Exactly.
For 6 people, it's for 5 people. That's it's a lot having 4 kids.
In the nice places, you know, the nicest places.
All right. So if something is not well paid, it means you don't get a lot of money for it. Okay. When something is well paid, then you receive a good amount of money. Now, she talks about it's not well paid, but it has a lot of perks. So perks are benefits. I live near the beach. One perk is I get to see beautiful sunsets like this whenever I want, usually, right? I can go to the beach for sunset and see these beautiful colors in the sky. That's a perk for me. Now, when you work at places, you can get perks, like maybe you get health insurance, right? Or maybe you get a company car, or maybe you get vacation time or paid vacation time, right? Those are all different types of perks. All right, so she said, we talked about getting something comped, right? When you get something comped, it's provided free of charge. You don't have to pay for it. Rachel said, I didn't get anything comped. You can also say maybe his meals and drinks at the casino were comped. Usually when you go to a casino, you know, if you're spending a lot of money, they will give you the food and drinks for free. It was a wash. Something that's a wash means that it's equal and one side doesn't have an advantage. So Rachel said, the money I made was a wash. I didn't make any extra money because all the money paid for the trip. So basically it was even. I got paid money for the article, but it was all spent on the trip. So it was a wash. I didn't come away with any other money at the end of the trip. Okay, for a little more, let's remember and look at the word trip. A trip is a noun. I want to take a trip to Europe. It's a thing. Now, travel is a verb. I travel to Europe every year. It's an action. It's something we do. I might want to travel and take a long trip somewhere. Where do you want to take a trip to? All right, so if you like my video, give it a like and subscribe to my channel. I post new videos on Mondays usually. Comment below, feel free to ask me questions. And if you want to contact me, you can send me an email. All right, have a great rest of your day. Thanks for sharing your time with me. I hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.